On August 20th, 1955, a commercial aircraft was flying from Tokyo to Honolulu. To make the flight a bit more interesting, the pilot decided to cruise at a lower altitude below the cloud level to grant the passengers a scenic look at some of the area's atolls and uninhabited Hawaiian Islands. While this was occurring, at the same time a group of passengers and the pilot both observed a strange disturbance in the water, with soon everyone on the plane noticing it in the same location, approximately 87 kilometers northeast of Necker Island. There, albeit in the distance off to the left side of the airplane in the Pacific Ocean, was a plume of gases seemingly rising thousands of meters, perhaps as much as 10,000 feet into the air. Steam was also observed along with a patch of discolored turquoise water which was visibly acting in a turbulent manner. Adding to this was a thin line of yellow water drifting away from this turbulence, along with a small oval of what appeared to be an island from which the gas plume originated. What had just been witnessed was likely a submarine volcanic eruption from a Hawaiian volcano which, for all intents and purposes, should have been extinct, having not erupted in upwards of 10 million years. Most people incorrectly believe that Maui's Haleakala volcano is the furthest west a Hawaiian volcano could feasibly erupt. And yet, two other suspicious reports of potential or even likely submarine volcanic eruptions were made in the time since, one of which was even further west than Midway. The most well-known of these reports observed a patch of water halfway between the coastlines of Oahu and Kauai at the summit of what was believed to be an extinct submarine volcano known as Ke'ina. Ke'ina was the first of three volcanoes which would form the island of Oahu, but, as the oldest, having been active 5 million to 3.5 million years ago, has since eroded to 2,760 feet below sea level. And yet, here is a direct quote from a linked U.S. Geological Survey article on what was observed on May 22, 1956. While flying low over the Kauai Channel, the pilot of a military transport reported a square mile of boiling water with sulfur and ashes on the waves. His crew reported smelling sulfur fumes hanging over the area. However, subsequent flights over the same area reported only yellow streaks in the water. Subsequently, pumice began washing up on the shores of various Oahu beaches 6 days later, and these were sent for analysis. These pumice fragments were believed to have been under 200 hours old, had a basaltic composition with a dark brown to black color, and contained an abundance of the feldspar mineral labradorite, which is fairly common at Hawaiian chain volcanoes. However, the weirdest potential report, which also has the least amount of supporting evidence, occurred during the first few months of 2011. This report was made by a ship which was sailing 1,027 kilometers or 638 miles west-northwest of the island of Midway over an area known as Milwaukee Bank. Crew on this ship observed steam violently rising from the water. Although the exact coordinates where this report was made is unclear, it likely occurred over the Camus seamount, which has not erupted in 42.4 million years. So, if any of these reports are to be believed, how did these eruptions occur at what are supposed to be extinct volcanoes? For the 1956 Ke'ina eruption, the answer was likely rejuvenation stage volcanism, the same reason why Oahu's Ku'ula'u volcano produced an eruption 30,000 years ago which formed Hanauma Bay. In the case of Necker Island, the reported placement of the 1955 eruption places it parallel to what I believe is a long-term zone of weakness in the crust, the Necker Ridge. As for the reported Milwaukee Bank eruption, I honestly have no clue.